Amma ba'd. I was requested this Friday to speak about the situation in Gaza, and I'll be as honest with you as I can be. When I made such a request, I feel paralyzed. I feel paralyzed because I don't think my feelings towards what's happening in Gaza are any different from any Muslim or actually any decent human being, but more so any Muslim. And every time I look at my own child, I can't help but think of the unbearable pictures of those children that are suffering, the countless that have already suffered and the countless that are suffering, and their parents and the bereaved. And it quite literally is paralyzing. And then I step back and I realize that our deen, one of its fundamental requirements is that one has to have control over their emotions before they speak. You have to have composure. And you cannot think and you cannot act on this deen unless you have such composure. In fact, one of the fundamental teachings of our religion that our success depends on is the word sabr. In Surah Al-Asr, for instance, when Allah Azza wa Jalla says, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Part of the meaning of وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ is we're going to lose patience. We're going to lose our composure, and we have to be there for each other to give each other composure, to keep us on track. That's part of the agenda. I also think about how easy it is, given that I have public speaking background and I know how to raise my voice and lower it, and I have an understanding of communal and psychology, social psychology, that I can give a khutbah at the end of which there's going to be a very loud takbir. And there's going to be a lot of excitement, and the hearts will be at ease that I heard something that felt good. But I actually stopped myself from doing that. I stopped myself from doing it because I feel that has almost become a pacifying drug. At least we heard something that felt good. At least, okay, that eased our pain a little bit, or that gave us some comfort. And every time there's a crisis, we turn to, what are our scholars saying? My heart is hurting. I need to hear something from our scholars, our du'at, our speakers, and they need to say something so that and it's, in a sense, I almost feel like I'm betraying this trust because I'm just giving someone something they want, not what they need. That's what it feels like to me. And so when that request is made, I actually went through quite a bit of a few stages since I heard that request. I casually said yes, but it's not easy for me, because I do take that as an amana. And after a lot of thinking and a lot of talking with friends and colleagues and mentors through last night, just on what to do, because I'm not any different than any of you, like I said, those emotions are mine too. And if I step back and I try to seek what it is that Allah wants from the ummah in this hour, what does He expect from us? I come away with two things. The reason, what's on all of our minds is that we're powerless. That's what's on our minds. This frustration is not the zalim, the shayateen, the killers, the murderers, the massacres of children, the genocidal maniacs, the shayateen. It's not, they're going to do what they're going to do. They're just doing what they're supposed to do. The real frustration is not with them. The real frustration is with ourselves. Why are we so powerless? Why is this happening in front of our eyes? We're making all this noise and it's going on. So actually, if you step back and think about it, the real problem is ourselves. Because you can't get angry at shaitan. Shaitan's job is to do what he does. But we're supposed to be, and the enemies of Islam, they're going to do what they're going to do. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his entire seerah is about one thing. It's about him having his agenda. As much as they anger him, they anger him all the time, and they anger the believers all the time. The kuffar anger believers all the time. But Allah has put him on a track, and the objective of that track is, to me, one of the objectives is really straightforward. And the objective is, if you get off track, you're never going to build the power you need to build to put a stop to them. You're never going to build that power. In fact, giving into your emotions will take you off track, and even though you'll feel like you released some hot air, You didn't even make steps towards ending that problem. Because today, for instance, if we do, somehow this crisis comes to an end, the damage is already done. For generations, the damage is done. And tomorrow it might be another country. And tomorrow it might be another location. And already we know the Ummah is on fire in multiple places around the world. So the real question is, what is that track? What's the pathway the Ummah is supposed to be on? It's easy to say, we're not united, our leaders are corrupt. It's, this was, when is the Ummah going to wake up? What in the world does that mean? When is the Ummah going to wake up? We need, unless you and I have a clear agenda in front of us, here's what I need me to do. Here's what I need you to do. There's supposed to be some level of clarity on an agenda, on a unified agenda.